This is Ben Television News. I am Nkiru Oguli. First, the highlights. Another Ebola case recorded in Port Harcourt as number of deaths from the disease rises to 5 in Nigeria. Ralph Nwoye emerges Deputy Governor of Enugu State. As French President Francois Hollande calls on the United Nations to provide exceptional support to Libya. As popular Nollywood actor Kunle Afolayan premieres his new movie October 1st. Now the news. The Nigerian Health Minister, Professor Onyebuchi Chukwu, has said that the total number of Ebola cases recorded in the country now stands at 15 as against the reported 13. Professor Chukwu, who was addressing newsmen in Abuja, said the 2 additional cases of the disease were recorded in Port Harcourt, where a staff member of ECOWAS who had contact with Patrick Sawyer but evaded surveillance checked into a hospital in the city with symptoms of the deadly virus.
The total number of cases of Ebola virus disease so far reported in Nigeria stands at 15. You recall that the last time we had this interactive session, we told you the number was 13. So we have moved from 13 to 15. This primary contact of Mr. Sawyer's had evaded our surveillance team in the last week of July 2014 and traveled out of Lagos to Port Harcourt, where, as we now understand, he consulted with a doctor. Following the report of his death by the doctor's widow, the next day, that Saturday when the report came to us, the case has since been thoroughly investigated, and laboratory analysis showed that the doctor died from Ebola virus disease.
Chukwu disclosed that 70 people who are secondary contacts of the 2 Ebola cases in Port Harcourt have been traced and placed under surveillance.
As a result, several contacts have now been traced, registered, and have been placed under surveillance in Port Harcourt. I want to charge the residents of Port Harcourt, and indeed the rest of Rivers State, not to panic in any way over this situation, as the experience we have gathered from Lagos and Enugu respectively indicate that certainly there's no cause for alarm when you have a government that is fully in control of the situation.
The minister assured Nigerians that the government will contain the virus, advising citizens not to panic, stating that just like the situation had been effectively managed in Lagos and Enugu, the situation in Port Harcourt would also similarly be effectively managed. The Enugu State House of Assembly has confirmed a clergy-cum politician, Ralph Nwoye, as the new deputy governor of the state. Mr. Nwoye, whose name was forwarded to the Assembly on Wednesday, replaces Sunday Onyebuchi, who was impeached on Tuesday over allegations that he raised chickens behind his official quarters and failed to represent Governor Sullivan Chime at some events. Mr. Nwoye's political antecedent is unclear as at this time, but he is said to be a former caretaker committee chairman of a local government in the state. A leader of Nigeria's ruling People's Democratic Party, Chief Bode George, has tongue-lashed the opposition party All Progressives Congress for its failure to participate in the just concluded national conference. Bode George, in an exclusive chat with correspondent Muyiwa Bamidele in Abuja, described the APC's absence at the conference as a political miscalculation.
Look at this conference. They refused to attend. The only political party that refused to attend. And if that is their concept, you refuse to join up to discuss the Nigerian project, and you are offering yourself to say, I will come and manage you. Where would they start from? Absolute blunder, political suicide. It's a harakiri in politics. How would you now decide that you want to come and rule the people People have discussed. Look at those contentious matters that have plagued these nations for so long. Where are they? They are not there. They are not here. Where are their leaders? So why would Nigerians trust them to manage the resources and their problems on their behalf? Because when you go and contest, you are telling the people, please trust me, that I will manage your resources for the betterment of the people. And for me, they will need to go back to their drawing board. You can see the number of so many of their heavyweights decamping back to PDP.
The Inspector General of Police, IGP Suleiman Abba, has reassured the public and the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation that Nigerian police will continue to give maximum protection to oil facilities in the nation. IGP Suleiman Abba said this when the Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Dr. Joseph Dawa, along with 2 group executive directors, paid an official visit to the Inspector General of Police to congratulate him on his new appointment.
I would say that I have always taken the issues of the oil industry seriously, knowing its importance to the nation's economy and perhaps to the world at large. Issues of the security of the facilities, the security of the staff involved certainly means a lot, because where there is no safety or security of either the staff or the facility, then it's obvious that production will always fall. Since taking over the office of the IGP, been interested to know what we've been doing to help in ensuring that the safety and the security of not only the staff but also the facilities of the oil industry generally can be improved.
Speaking earlier, the Group Managing Director thanked the Nigerian Police Force for maintaining the age-long collaborative relationship that has existed between the police and the NNPC.
So the purpose of this visit is to thank you and to convey deep appreciation to NNPC management and staff, to the leadership and the entire Nigerian Police Force, the collaborative relationship that has existed between our 2 organizations. The second reason is the need to strengthen the close ties between the Nigerian police and NNPC across the country for the socio-economic growth and stability of our fatherland. Peace and security are essential ingredients for the growth and prosperity of our nation. The Nigerian Police Force is a major platform realizing that noble objective.
And now to foreign news. French President Francois Hollande has called on the United Nations to provide exceptional support for Libya in order to help authorities restore order in a country that has been fractured by militias and political infighting. Hollande said Thursday in Paris that inaction could lead to the spread of terrorism. His remarks came a day after the UN Special Representative to Libya, Tariq Mitri, warned the Security Council that the situation in Libya might unravel until a full-blown civil war. Libya had been in turmoil since the 2011 ouster of dictator Muammar Gaddafi. The World Health Organization says Ebola could infect more than 20,000 people across West Africa by the time the outbreak is over. The UN agency gave its assessment as it launched a $490 million campaign to fight the epidemic that it says has killed at least 1,550 people. It says the total number of reported cases has topped 3,000, but added that the actual number could be 2 to 4 times higher. And still on the foreign scene, a South Sudanese rebel official says there can be no lasting peace in the country as long as President Salva Kiir is at the helm of government. Ezekiel Law Gatko, former South Sudan ambassador to United States, says Kiir is a symbol of disunity that does not enjoy the support of majority of South Sudanese. There were reports Monday that the warring parties had signed a cessation of hostility agreements, but in a statement issued Thursday, the rebels say they were not part of the negotiations and that their leader, former Vice President Riek Machar, did not sign the agreement. Garkut said mediators of the regional group Intergovernmental Authority on Development presented a blank document to Machar to sign, but he refused to do so without the text. IGAD, which has been mediating the talks, has called on Kiir and Machar to form a unity government within 45 days. We'll take a short break now. When we return, we'll bring you more stories. Please stay with us.
Strength as a nation lies in our unity. Come rain or shine, this great promise called Nigeria will stand. Nigeria truly cares. For our parents, our soldiers will definitely bring back our girls. Say no to terrorism. Nigerians, indeed, we will overcome. This message is from the National Orientation.
Welcome back. Now to a bit of business. The new computerization of operations by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria may lead to actualization of home ownership dream of contributors to the National Housing Fund, according to Gimba Kumo, Managing Director of the bank. At a media interactive session in Abuja, Kumo said the improved operations by the NHF has brought about an increase in its collections by about 300% to 2.5 billion naira up from 700 million naira 3 years ago. He said since assumption of office of the present management of the Apex Bank in 2010, the bank had been able to put in place processes aimed at easing the operation of the NHF and also making access to loan facilities by contributors less cumbersome. We move over to entertainment. Video Censors Board is changing the way it approves movies for viewing. The NFVCB, according to an official, adopted the measures in June, and for July, a total of 77 movies were approved for viewing at the cinemas. According to the board, which was heavily criticized for what many called unnecessary delays in approving Half of a Yellow Sun, the new policy is wrapped around an initiative for a 2-week maximum timeline for issuing licenses for movie distribution in the country. A statement signed by the board's acting head of corporate affairs, Cesar Cargo, said the goal of the new policy is to ease and speed up the licensing mechanism for movie distributions and exhibition in Nigeria. The new policy is set to take off from October 2014. Kunle Afolayan has announced that his new movie, October 1, will premiere on September 28. Following the same approach he adopted during the premiere of his last movie, Phone Swap, the director has also revealed that the event will take place at Eco Hotels and Suites instead of the customary cinema house premiere. Billed to hit the cinemas in Nigeria on October 1st, an important date in Nigeria's history to which the film is also attached in terms of storyline. October 1 is expected to have a fine run at the cinemas owing to the rave reviews that have followed the few private screenings that have been held so far. And now to sports. The umbrella body for sports editors in Nigeria, the Guild of Sports Editors, met in Lagos to review recent happenings in the nation's football and resolved that there was a need for government at the highest level to take action on the shameful happenings in the administration of the game. The meeting was superintended by the chairman of the Board of Trustees of the group and weekend editor of the Vanguard newspaper, Mr. Onochie Anibese. The group viewed with serious concern the way and manner Nigerian football had been riddled with recent crisis, which has put the country in international odium. The interim committee set up by the Parallel Congress of the Nigerian Football Federation has described the action of the newly elected board led by Chris Giwa to occupy the secretariat of the NFF as illegal. Ephraim Chukwuemeka, a member of the interim committee who visited the NFL secretariat, said the election was a sham because August 26th Congress was only to chart a new roadmap for the conduct of elections into the board of the NFF. He said the interim committee will be assuming duty on Monday with General Secretary of the NFF. To wrap up the news, we bring you a recap of the major stories. Another Ebola case recorded in Port Harcourt as number of deaths from the disease rises to 5 in Nigeria. Ralph Ngoye emerges deputy governor of Enugu State. French President Francois Hollande has called on the United Nations to provide exceptional support for Libya as popular Nollywood actor Kunle Afolayan premieres his new movie October 1st. Thanks for joining us. I am Nkiru Obuli. Enjoy the rest of the day.